We are live. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you for that. Just stick around. We'll let everybody get in before we get too excited. Make sure you subscribe to us if you're new. Give us a thumbs up tonight. Be great. Double tap. All that good stuff. While we're waiting, I'm going to try to get some work done tonight. Don't know how much I'll get done, but I got a bunch of videos I'm working on, trying to get cut up, made into decent videos. If any of my stuff's decent, I don't know. It may not be. All you guys may just think it's junk. I don't know. Everything looks good here. I'm going to restart. I need to restart my computer tonight, so that's one thing I'm doing. Is Tim's in the house. Good evening, Tim. How are you? Good to see you. What are you up to tonight, Tim? Today for you? Good to see you. Oh, man. I'm a little tired tonight, I gotta admit. Tim? We had a busy night last night. You doing good today? You feeling better? I hope you're feeling better. Thank you for the thumbs up. So, I guess all we have to do now on these fancy iPhones and tablets and things is just hit the screen twice and you get a thumbs up, man. Just relaxing before the gym. Yeah, I like to get back into the gym myself. You know, but I've been saying that for years, and here I am. I'm still not going, so I guess if I really wanted to, I would have, right? That's kind of the $50,000 question. If I really wanted to, I guess I'd already been there, done that, so. Beast, are you asking what I think about your profile picture? I don't know what it is. I haven't looked. So as long as you're happy with your own profile picture, that's really all that matters. What I think of your profile picture shouldn't matter to you at all. So if you don't have confidence in yourself, I don't know what to tell you. So if you don't like yourself there, Beast, we can't make you like yourself. So, I got to restart the computer here, so we'll get some different flashing lights going on back and forth. But we went up to, we did that thing last night and all that. We got a whole bunch of people watching. You guys give us some more thumbs up. Don't be shy. Like, subscribe, and share to the channel. There will be a whole bunch of naked dancing girls coming on a little bit later. So if that's the only reason you're here, you're in good shape. Let's see. The office downtown can't send in my forms. They cannot. Ah, really? Well, Tim, is there anything we can do? I guess they can't send them electronically, but they could send them through the snail mail. Well, you know, it sounds like you have problems with your own self-worth, right? Bees, it sounds like that's what the problem is. You're one of those people that have problems with yourself. And we can't help that. You know, we can't make you feel good about yourself. We can't improve you. You know, if you think it's appropriate to take pictures of disabled people and whatever, then hey, more power to you. You know, we want you to be happy in life. So, but Tim, if there's anything we can do, I know you said they could do it in the snail mail. which maybe from the military standpoint, they would get to America a lot faster than the regular snail mail. But like I told you a while back, Tim, maybe if you needed us to, we could print all the documents off, you know, and mail them to there for you. But I don't know if that would actually help you or not, Tim. So, Orlai says, well, if you think it's possible, we'll closely think about your thoughts too. There you go. So hopefully, though, yeah, it's kind of a bummer they can't send electronically, you know. Maybe it's because of the internet, you know. But you would think a government's website and a government website. Lorelai says, got to go back to work. I'm just stopping by. All right, Lorelai, have fun at work. Okay, so you're going to mail the forms on Thursday. Got to get the address labels made tomorrow. Nice. All right. So that's good. That's good. At least you're going to get them in the mail. So you know they're going to eventually get there. It may take a few weeks to get there, right? So yeah, all of you fine people in the background, feel free to drop a message telling us hello. Give us a thumbs up. Double tap that screen. Drop a chat. Let us know who's all in here. So is there any questions you got? Anything we can solve for you? We will be happy to do it. We are the greatest YouTube channel on the YouTube channel platform without any question. If you don't believe me, ask me, and I will be happy to tell you that we are the greatest. All right? I'm happy to do it. I have no problems sharing that great information with everybody. But I'm glad you're getting all that mailed. You know, especially with the holiday season coming on. You know how that's, the mail always seems to slow down around the holiday season, and Thanksgiving's around the corner, then Christmas. So, and you would think, I don't know how many people send Christmas cards anymore these days. So actually, Tim, that's not too bad. Usually takes about 14 days to mail to and from the States from the Philippines. That's actually pretty impressive. But I also know it's military and there's, not like it's going to go through 40,000 different groups, agencies, or hands. It's going to be in the hands of the military and it's going to get, so I hope anyway. But that's actually pretty good because it would probably take, a week for it to get, from my part of the world to Colorado. Probably take, 3 to 5 days. So that's pretty good, But it is kind of a bummer that they can't do it electronically. That's a stinker. That is. I mean, it's kind of a bummer and a stinker. Because you would think, but then again, maybe we're hoping that the government has too much logic. You would think one government agency can communicate with another government agency. One government office can communicate with another one efficiently and effectively. But I think we're overreaching in what we think about competency of any government. Because I don't think there's hardly any. I know the Philippine government can't do it. And I don't think the American government can do it either, unless they want money from you. If the American government wants money from you, then they'll move mountains in heaven to get it from you, and they can be Johnny on the spot. But if you need to do stuff with them, it's like a slow, agonizing process. So, but Tim, that's good news. Good to hear. It really is. I'm trying to get my computer, I'm restarting it. I got to make some videos over the next couple of days. We went to that big Christmas outing last night and took a bunch of video. And then I got, Rob's watch I need to make a new video on. And I got an egg steamer, Tim. That's kind of a cool device. I got a new kitchen gadget I need to make a video on. And I got a video coming out tomorrow about the pacemaker surgery. They're not on the same government website or well, that's what I mean, and that's kind of what is silly to me, and this is partly why, whether you like him or not, Elon Musk was so frustrated with was why isn't our government on the same platform? Why can't they? You know what I mean? Why is it that they cannot I'll be, look, all of my medical stuff, I got a medical hub that links different hospitals that are not related with each other. So that we can share information from my heart hospital, which is a specialty hospital, to my GP, to my lung specialist. They all work for different companies, but there's a central medical hub that we can communicate, and I can have this person send that to that person, and da 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 and da da da. So, and it's just for medical. So you think with things that are really important that it might do better, but what do I know? What do I know? It's kind of like, yeah, I'll tell you the most frustrating thing right now that bothers me about the U.S. government is the fact there are so many IRS employees that owe the IRS back taxes, and they're still employed. I don't understand that. And they're not on a payment plan. They just owe back money, and they haven't paid it, but they still get their paycheck from us. I don't know. It's really weird. That one kind of bugs me. A lot of the other stuff is horrible, but that one really bugs me. Pat is in the house. Good evening, Pat. It's kind of like a Dallas, Texas police officer who's out there doing traffic patrol, but he has a bunch of speeding tickets in the city of Dallas. But yet he's allowed to go write tickets. It doesn't make any sense. Good to see you, Pat. Thank you for being here. Hello to Tim. Angel Rivera says 6-7. Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Everybody said hello to Angel. Angel, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. We always enjoy having people come in, whether they can speak words or just numbers. It doesn't really matter. We can handle it. So that's what one of the weird things I think, it's like I saw a video, I don't know, it just drives me crazy. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Tim is saying hello to you, Pat. But it just isn't right if you have a police officer writing speeding tickets, but yet that officer gets tickets for speeding or any traffic infractions. It's not right if they, so to have an IRS agent working to collect taxes from you, but they owe the government back taxes, doesn't make sense. Pat saying hello. So, Pat, how's things going in your part of the world? Is it cold? It's fairly decent here. It's 60 degrees currently. We are scheduled to get some rain, I think, this week. So we'll have to see how it goes. But last night, we had really great weather. Thank you for joining the live stream last night. Oh, I got to make a note. I got to remember to thank Jimmy when he comes in. Jimmy, let me get a good pen. Jimmy donated some of our Rice for Life fund. So when you guys see Jimmy, remind me. I got to thank him for that. Jimmy, thank you. Let me write a big note. Rice money. All right. So he gave us some money for the Rice for Life fund. So I just want to thank him and write him of that. Buy's in the house. Hi, Pat. Can you message DB? Who's DB? Dan Blankenship? I don't know Dan. I used to know a guy named Dan Blankenship. Still recovering, Buy says, from the FRKM. I don't know what that is. That's some kind of new disease I don't know anything about. Still recovering from, from the flu? Okay. I thought you had a new special disease, sickness, a virus that happened. All right, it's good. Good to know that you're just recovering from the normal flu. We're glad you're doing better, Bye. We hope you continue to get better. So thank you for that. Thank you for getting better and coming on. We haven't been sick yet this winter. We were out in the cold last night, so I'm kind of surprised I'm not sick today. But we've been lucky enough that we haven't had any. We're still having allergies here. with all the heavy winds, and all of that, you know, the tree and the. Pat says, I let DB know by. Hi, y'all, and Mother Hubbard. Dennis is in the house. Good to see you, Dennis. Let me move this chat over here until I get mine pulled up. Dennis, how are you? Saying hello to Biden. Tim is saying hello to Dennis, a.k.a. HTN Arm Candy. I gotta make sure I have a note here. I'm trying to get the chat where I can read it a little bit better. So how's things in your part of the world, Dennis? Pat saying hello. Yeah, it got cold on us last night. I was going to try to do a longer live stream down by the water, but man, it was chilly. I started to get really cold, so I cut the live stream last night kind of short. But we did make a lot of videos I'm going to put together in a video, probably 30-minute video, 45-minute. You guys will just have to let it run. It's about the nature and lights. Man, it was really cool. The Christmas light display that we took a golf cart through last night. I'm going to say, you know, I'm not impressed by many things at all. And this wasn't like super impressive, like Grand Canyon impressive, but it was pretty cool. I gotta admit, it was pretty cool. So we'll be putting a video together. I'll probably release it like on Thanksgiving or something. Buy's asking, how you doing, Dennis? Backlash Fisherman is in the house. Lorelai is the best and most awesome person ever. Then there's David. That's right. That's right. Always playing second fiddle, aren't we? There we go. Backlash, how are you? Thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. I've had a terrible cough for a few weeks now. New prescription is helping finally. Good. You got to take those antibiotics. So far, you know, I've been feeling okay. My pacemaker surgery went okay. I'm not feeling any ill effect. The scar's all healed up. You see it? You know, it looks like somebody bit me right there. It's like a dog or something came in and chewed a hole in my chest. Then it says, waiting Mother Hubbard for the wedding invitation. I think before she can send out the wedding invitation, the other half of the groom has to get to the Philippines. So is I think usually how that one works. I'm not for sure. You know me, I'm not a very smart man. It's like a virus spreading here. Well, a lot of it's environmental. I'm telling you. I know you guys aren't in Cebu, but I'm telling you, when the earth rattles, shakes, and rolls, and you have floods, torrential rains, downpours, hurricanes, typhoons, it stirs everything up. And so it's not surprising that parts of the Philippines that did not get flooded are having health issues. The part of the Philippines where we're from, Cebu, got flooded, they're having health issues. So a lot of people are starting to suffer. Ask Henry, well, Henry doesn't have an answer. When we ask him, he doesn't have an answer. So that's all I know about that. He never has an answer. But yeah, I'm sorry everybody's feeling sick in the Philippines. I just know that it's going to be a while. The Philippines has to kind of burn through that sickness from the earthquakes and the weather. Yeah, he will be there soon. Okay, all right. What's your definition of soon? Pat, if HTN doesn't close the deal, get after Mother Hubbard, Dennis says. Severe coughing started right after June. That was near me. Well, Backlash doesn't have any answers either. There you go, man. Tim, it's because I'm telling you, those heavy winds and rains, they stir up the environment. And they bring all of that crud that's on the ground into your breathing space is what happens. So it's not uncommon. Even here in America, I mean, it's not uncommon. Even if you get tornadoes, you know, you get a bunch of crap in the air that's normally that you're not used to. Backlash is in the house. Yeah, I don't have any answers either, man. All I know is what I know. All I know is honest men have no friends, I guess. That's my new saying for today. I thought about that. And I'm like, ooh, I like that quote. I don't know if anybody ever said that quote before or not. If they didn't, I want to take claim for that quote. Because you know me, I am trying to conquer the internet. And if I can claim a quote and become famous, well then, hey, maybe I get somewhere. Ken is in the house. Good to see you, Ken. How are you, man? Thank you for chiming in on some of the other videos. We appreciate that. Everybody said hello to Ken. Ken, how are you? Where are you from? Where are you going? What are you up to? Give us a little bit about yourself, buddy. So anything you want to share, you know, is fine. You don't got to share anything. Doing all right? Nice. Let's see. Joanna, 23 Junior said hello. Well, hello to you. Good to see you. Indiana. Pat's from Indiana, Ken. Our friend Pat in here is from Indiana. So, everybody said hello to each other, by the way. I took a week off, didn't go anywhere, even missed a Christmas party. Well, you didn't miss anything. It's been a rough year, Ken says, in Indiana or personally. It's kind of been an up and down year for us, too. We're ready for it to be over. I am. I'm ready. There's HTN. All right, everybody's asking when Henry is going to go to the Philippines. Henry, do you have your ticket yet for the Philippines? Pat said, Bai thinks you're coming very, very soon. I asked her what the definition of soon was. So, hey, Brother Henry from Pat. Nice meeting everybody. Pat says, hey, Pat. Good to see you, Brother Henry. HDN, hello, kid. Long story short, my wife, Filipina, left me on March 22nd of this year and went to the Philippines and never came back. So you're one of the lucky ones, are you, Ken? Are you one of the lucky ones? Oh, I'm just being mean, Ken. I'm just being mean. Well, look, there's a lot of us in here that love Filipino women. We do. But there's also a lot of us that know that there's an awful lot of bad Filipino women. And sometimes you got to remember, what's worse than spending, time with a bad Filipina is spending one more day with a bad Filipina. So you either got lucky or you didn't. One way or the other to look at it. Let's see. Together 17 years. Wow, that's a long time. Henry says, I'm not saying, but I did get a passport. That's good. Step number 1. So you can leave the country. Yes, it was a good 17 years. All right. Well, do you know why she decided to go back to the Philippines and stay? I guess, and I'm not trying to be too nosy. Well, I guess I kind of am. Have you been in contact with her since you went to the Philippines? I guess it's one thing to, especially older Filipinas who say, I can't handle living in America. I don't want to live here anymore. So I want to pack up and go home and live in the Philippines. You can either come or stay. Versus the ones that catch a plane in the middle of the night and you don't know anything about it. And you wake up the next day and they're gone. And then they never talk to you again. So there's kind of a big difference in those two. But everybody said hello to Ken. All right. Well, send her divorce papers. It is mind-boggling sometimes what people think, Ken. But we can't control what other people do or don't do. All we can do is control what we do. That's all we could do. I don't have any great answers for you. Send her, maybe, do you know where she's at in the Philippines or who she's with? All right, well then it's going to be abandonment, right? So the divorce paperwork will go through, there'll be abandonment because she won't respond. Tim, so that's all good, right? All good. You can find another Filipino. There's plenty of them out there. So yeah, it'll go through the courts. What is bad is having a lot of people who claim to be friends. If you need anything, they are nowhere to be found. Boy, you got that right. Yeah, sadly, that is the world we live in, I think. I think, Tim, sadly, that is more common than we can ever imagine. For good, bad, or ugly, people only want something to do with you when they can get something out of you. That's usually the way it is. And when they can no longer get anything out of you, they have no use for you. Rumor has it that she's back in San Diego, but I don't know, or do I care at this? I wouldn't either. I wouldn't care either. Ken, to be honest, if Lorelai did that to me, the doors would be, no. Over. Very sadly, Pat says, yes, Tim, is so very true. It's all good, though. Good. Good. Because all we can do is make the best of whatever situation we're in. You know, sometimes you're better off without somebody. Life is easier when you're single. It could be, it may not, it could be, lonelier in a sense. But if you're happy with yourself and who you are as a person, there's a whole lot more worse things than being alone. So, maybe it's the right thing. That's right. Is Jimmy in the house yet? Yeah, I got a note here to thank Jimmy. Thank Jimmy C., who donated money for the Rice for Life program. Thank you for that, Jimmy. I made a big note of it, so when I see him, I can tell him. And get over here. I'm still trying to pull the chat up on the big screen. So there's worse things in life than being alone. I'm telling you. Whoops. I don't know what I'm doing. Hang on. I got to do something. I got to figure out what I'm doing. Oh, here it is. There we go. All right. Downside is I have to re-enter the workforce at 55, but other than that, I'm good. All right, well, maybe it's an opportunity. I don't give money to no Filipina, Pat says. Well, Ken, but maybe you got to look at it as an opportunity for a whole new world. Many doors to open for you. Because now you don't know what's on your horizon, and that can be a good thing. That can be a really exciting part of time in life. Hopefully I can donate your Rice for Life. Tim, we appreciate that. We do. Yep, we do. Tim, just let us know or do the PayPal thing. We got time yet. It's still early. We'll wrap it up about Christmas and then get the money ready to send and get the rice bought in the Philippines as a project. So, forgot your age. Whoops. Oh, 66. Well, 55, 66 is only what, 11-year difference? What do you know? That's all right. Or or you downsize. So, there's a lot of good financial philosophies out there in life. And part of it is say, look, earn more money or spend less. So maybe this is your opportunity to refocus, to find a cheaper place to live that's simpler, easier to manage and take care of, and kind of do and reinvent yourself. Maybe look at it as an opportunity like that. There you go. And if she doesn't respond, you win the house. You don't got to split any of the money. Yes, downsizing. So it could be a good thing, right? I think it is. You never know what anything's going to be. And you're in Indiana where Pat is. It's cold in Indiana. Why would you guys want to live in Indiana? I don't even like living where I live. You guys need to move like to Mississippi or Alabama or Florida or Georgia or, God forbid, Texas. Arizona or California. California. Well, Well, they may. Yeah, I don't really know about Indiana law, but the logic is if you don't contest it, then there's nothing to contest, right? If you don't contest the divorce, you, the partitioner, wins by default, meaning there is nothing for them to get. You're good with the 60-40? I wouldn't be. So, but I know what you mean. But, look at it as an opportunity. Maybe maybe she's going to go through a nut job phase. Kid, I'm going to try to give you some hope. Maybe your wife was getting ready to become a nut job and was going to wind up driving you crazy for the next 10 years and making your life a living hell. So you're better off just being alone. Yeah, I'm sure you are trying to be cordial. I lived in San Diego many years ago, in Vegas, and now I am home. I grew up here. All right. Well, I definitely wouldn't want to live in San Diego again. It's too damn expensive. Vegas would be cool. They got some good places there. I'm trying to be cordial. Ken says, I think she already hit the nut job phase. Well, not to pick on women, but are they ever not in phase, nut job phase? Is that, but yeah, you just got to think about, life, life brings you lemons. What do? You make lemonade out of it. Anyway, all things given, I'm all right. Well, good news that you're doing good. Good point. Yeah, I'm just telling you. Yeah. You can either look at the glass half full or half empty, or not look at the damn glass at all. Because who says you got to look at the glass? Thanks for allowing me to share anytime, Ken. Galactic Gaming is in the house. Everybody said hello to Galactic Gaming. Yo, party people. How are we doing? How are you doing? I wore your watch last night when I went to a big old fancy Christmas thingy-jingy. So I had to show your watch off, Galactic. So good to see you. How are you? How are you doing? So what's going on in your world? How are you doing? Everybody said hello to each other. We got a bunch of people in there hanging around in the background. And but we went Christmas light looking last night. We got to drive a golf cart around. The place we went was really cool. So, and cold because, it's wintertime. It's negative 27,000 degrees where we live. Well, I don't really like to put up Christmas lights. I think it's a waste, but my wife's into it. I'm not really. But whatever makes her happy, I don't really care. I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent about a lot of things. Pat says, hello, Galactic. Dim. The glass is half empty, then fill it up with gin or rum or Bacardi. Or something good, right? Is that what we're talking about, Tim? Or Gatorade, or soda pop. Awesome, man. Thank you. Everything is great. We had an unreal nude today. Why? Oh, my dad went, oh yeah, the eye thing. Wow. Okay, so Rob was telling me a while back that his dad was going blind because the cornea were going bad in the eyes, were dying in the eyes. So they went to the eye hospital and was told the bad news that we had was falsely given to us. The doctor at his time was wrong. That is good news, man. Congratulations. And I'm sure your dad is really excited to know now that everybody kind of stuck through him when the bad news, all the shit was hitting the fan, so to speak, and family was there to have his back. And now that the shit isn't hitting the fan as much, he's probably going, wow, I got a good family, man. I'm doing all right. Let's see. Very frustrating to know a sort of negligence happens. Oh, I know, man. We had 2 weeks of anguish, but thank God they were wrong. I subscribe to your channel, Ken. And I haven't done that yet, but I will, Ken. I'll catch up on your channel a little bit later. Give it some time to mull around. But that is good news, Rob. Really good news, Galactic Gaming. Everybody tell Galactic Gaming thumbs up. Turns out the eye isn't deteriorating at all. Hey, Pat, how are you doing from Galactic? Thank you. It's not much, though. Well, you know, Pat started a YouTube channel just recently himself. So, you know, if you want to make YouTube something, you got to work a lot. You got to work a lot at it. I mean, I spend a lot of effort doing my little channel. But doing good. Nice. It's all right, Brother Ken. Good. Pat, thank you for subscribing to him. So, Doggy's in the house. How are you? Pat said, sure did. Yeah, he started his own channel. Now, remember, if you're blue in the stream, you can always just drop your own link. And I encourage you guys to go be friends with one another. Oh, gravy, baby. Nice. Doggy, everybody said hello to Doggy. Doggy said hello to everybody. Good to see you. Pat wants to know what part of Indiana you're from, Ken. Sorry, Ken wants to know what part of Indiana Pat is from. Because they're Indiana boys. Isn't that a song? Indiana Boys? Or lyrics in a song? Isn't there a song that says something about them Indiana boys? Tell me I'm wrong or if I'm crazy. I think there's a song out there. Pat's from Columbus. Oh, I am right. I'm always right, Pat. Henry is saying, hello, DB. Who is DB? You're not talking about Dennis, are you? The Canadian crippler, the Canadian bacon eater, the land of the Canadian Prime Minister, Dennis. Dennis, the Lord and Master of Canada. I'm the Lord and Master of the universe, and I have bestowed upon him the rank and title of Lord and Master of Canada. Very small town, Emirates, Indiana. Familiar with the, yeah. So let's see. Pat is from Indiana, Columbus area. I don't know, Doggy says. I'm DB. Are you a DB? I don't know what DB is. So, you know, I know somebody like Dwayne Bobby, you know, I could be DB. No. I believe there is a song, something about them Indiana boys. There has to be. I know there is. It's like Bruce Springsteen's or The Boss or one of those kind of folky rock guys. You know, one of those bands. I think John Cougar Mellencamp has a few songs. And yeah, he's from Indiana, if I remember right. Yeah, it could be him. It could be his. John Cougar Mellencamp. I love him. Great, great, great. You're right. It might be him. Jimmy's in the house. There's Jimmy. Ho, ho, Hoosiers going to be playing them boys in Columbus, Ohio for the Big Ten. Wow. Jimmy's in the house. Jimmy, we got a thing that you sent us. Did you send us a thing today, Jimmy? So, everybody said hello to Jimmy. We appreciate you, Jimmy, for sending. My wife sent me a message saying that you took care of, I forgot. The Rice for Life program. Where was I going with all this? I forgot. Rice for Life, thank you for the donation. Thank you, Jimmy. So, appreciate that. That's what I was trying to get out. Rice for Life. Sometimes I think if life is rice, you know, but let me get caught up. Tom Petty had one about those Indiana girls as well. Jimmy says, what's up, football? Yeah, I don't know if Ohio can beat Indiana this year, so we'll have to see what's going to go on there. Traditional song of the Indy 500. Hey, Pat, what's up? H from Doggy. Yeah, my pleasure. Well, we appreciate that. Rice is life. Thank you for that. We do that. We're going to be collecting donations for our Rice for Life program up until about Christmas. Then what we do, if you don't know, is we buy large quantities of rice. We got a crew on staff. That makes it sound like more than it is. We got people in the Philippines that will handle all of this. We divide the large quantity of rice up into small bags of rice, and they hand it out to families that are truly in need to have rice for the first day of the new year. because it's traditional and it's only a good omen to say, look, we have rice in our house for the new year, indicating that they're going to have a fruitful new year. If they don't have any rice in their house, it means they're going to struggle like crazy. So we make sure that they have rice in their house. Jimmy says, hello, Tim. Tim, hello, Jimmy. Doggy, my blood brother's name is Jim. Nice. Doggy, where are you from? What part of the world are you hanging out in? Vacations planned? No, I don't get a life. Are you kidding me, Rob? I don't get a life. We went Christmas light looking last night up in a place called Top of the Rock in Branson, Missouri. It's a really cool thing. You'll see the video coming out. And we got to go to Dallas next week in Dallas, Texas. But I don't get to have a vacation anymore. I don't have a life. Honest men like me don't get to have a good life. Likewise, Pat, good to see you. Jimmy, what's up, kid? Doggy says, hello, Patrick. All I know is whoever met up with us, we're all going to lose. Go Dogs. There you go, Jimmy. Well, the Dogs looked, they're, I don't know, man. I think, I don't know. I actually don't think Ohio is going to do a whole lot. But I am very impressed with Indiana and Georgia, to be honest. I think Indiana and Georgia are the two most dangerous teams there are. So I agree. Western Massachusetts, holy shit and butt farts. It's cold where you are. Pat, just send me a Gcash name and number and I will donate. Okay, I'll have Lorelai do that. Because I don't know how to do that. But Lorelai knows how to do all that. Vacation, what's that? Tim says, you got that right, man. How far of a drive? It's a 5-hour drive. A 5-hour drive. So my wife has been saving up money so she can buy a King Louis purse. So this weekend we go to buy her a King Louis purse and go to this big fancy mall, hang out. I'm going to try to do a live stream Saturday evening at the mall. And then we're going to stay the night at my brother's house, get up Sunday, head back into Dallas, do a little bit more shopping. They're going to go buy Jollibee and buy 5,000 pounds of Jollibee chicken, load it in the back of our tiny car, and bring it back to Arkansas. 5 hours. It's a good 5-hour drive. No, the Buckeyes are good. I think they will take IU down. Do you, Jimmy? I don't know. I know they're good, but I don't think, what I mean by this, I think Indiana has like a magical season going on. They have a touch of, man, we got it. Ohio's good, solid, consistent, but they don't, and maybe that wins out. I don't know, but I see Indiana and I see Georgia having a big chip on their shoulder, like, come on, let me punch you in the face. But I think Indiana is kind of like, man, they're just floating in air. So they're riding the magic carpet ride, so to speak. Just send it on Messenger. I'll do it, Tim. Or Lorelai will. We will, Tim. Thank you for that, Tim. And Jimmy, thank you again for donation to our Rice Your Life. You look Filipino expat outfit is 80 Fahrenheit there. Well, no, it's not. I usually wear a tropical shirt, but I don't want to today. No, I wear, see my wound? Look, I got bit by a tiger the other day. I was in the Amazon jungle, and this great big Bengal tiger came out of the woods or the jungle tree thingies and bit me, is what happened there. So, no, it's 59 and cold. I froze my butt off last night up in Missouri. But yeah, I like to wear these shirts when the weather's nice. I usually have a tropical shirt on because I think tropical shirts are cool. They go with my hats. And I have watches to match my tropical shirts. Rob, if you don't know, Galactic Gaming sells watches. If anybody wants watches, you need to hook up with our good friend Galactic Gaming. He can take care of you. Let's see. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Buckeye fan, but they are good. I know, but I just don't want them to win. Jimmy, don't get me wrong. I am a big IU fan. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. That catch that kid made a couple weeks ago was the most awesome touchdown catch I think I've ever seen anybody ever make. It was unbelievable. It should be the greatest football touch. I mean, it was. I mean, it should go down in history as one of the greatest catches ever. Forget Jaco Harris guy from the Steelers or whatever the hell his name was. Some teams don't have the desire to go for the. Yeah, Arkansas. Arkansas doesn't have the desire to show up at the stadium and play football. So they just sit around eating pork sandwiches. No doubt about it. It's true. I saw it happen. Big tiger. I know. Big ass tiger. In the jungles of South Africa, wherever the hell we were. I don't remember where we were. There is a cold front coming. Somewhat, yes. Supposed to be a cold front coming. Is it supposed to reach where you're at? I think we're going to Dallas. It's supposed to be a pretty decent weekend this coming weekend. We're supposed to be getting rain tomorrow. So we're having our first frost over here in Wells tonight. Wow, winter is coming. We've already been down in the mid-20s here, 24, 26 degrees, 2 nights in a row. So, suck it. I hate winter. But yeah, Franco Harris. There you go. That's what his name was. I think we're having a cold front coming. Remember, we're going to have a horrible winter this winter. I want you guys all to listen to the words from this guy wearing a blue shirt. We're going to have a horrible winter this winter. Mark my words on it. I have a relative that went to IU during Bobby Knight days. Oh yeah, I forgot about they had actually used to have a basketball team. He's all pumped about football now, I bet. Jimmy John, I met Bobby Knight in the 70s and attended his basketball camp. Oh, that's pretty cool. He's dead now, right? I'm a little guy, 6. Yeah, that's a little guy. The tiger doesn't feel good since he bit me. Yeah, you're right. I bit him back, man. He launched onto me, and I bit his ear and ripped it off and threw him down on the ground and gave him a, you know. But he really bit me and poisoned me is what it was. Now, we're currently in the United States. So we're currently in the United States. We've lived in the Philippines, been in the Philippines a bunch. My wife's from the Philippines. I'm American, of course, obviously. Pat says, I got to be right back. I got to go outside and pee. Oh, no, my signal's bad. That's all right, doggy. We appreciate you being here, you know. Are you married to a Filipina? Would you like to be married to a Filipina? Would you like not to be married to a Filipina? You know. You play, Ken. Me too. Not very good, though. I was on the UGA practice squad in 83 and 84. Wow. Yeah, Jimmy's a tall old boy himself now. Yeah, I forgot about how tall Jimmy is. Jimmy's a tall old boy. I sucked at basketball. It didn't work so well for me. One, I'm short, 5'11", and, 300 pounds, who bench press 400 pounds, so I wasn't the prototypical basketball type of guy. So I didn't really do that. I did play until you hit about 50, 20 years ago, because we've established that Ken is now 66, not 55. Ken, dang, me too. I am 6'4". You all see, we can have an old timer league between all of you. Pat's too short, so Pat can't play. Dennis is pretty tall. If Dennis is still in here. I will think on that last question. I'm just back burning right now. All right, that's nothing wrong with that. Back in a while, Tim. Appreciate you, Tim. That's all right. We don't mind people on the back burner. No, we more than likely will go to the Philippines in 27, not in 26. We have too many other things to do. We need to take care of some business in the Philippines. My wife owns some land there. We got to figure out whether we're going to sit on it and do nothing with it, or she's going to build her retirement home on it, or what we're going to do with it. I don't really know. Remember that 5'5" Muggsy basketball? Oh, I do. Remember the little guy. Yeah, but at least he had talent. I had no talent in basketball. I didn't like basketball because you had to run too much. It's like, man, I just stay down here at the other end and wait for the other people to come back. Made better sense. Why would I need to run all the way down and all the way back? I could just stay back here and wait, and everybody would come down here. Basketball was the only sport I liked in school. I'm okay. White and 5'9". Muggsy was 5'3" tall. All right, that's pretty good. So, we're Razorbacks, as you guys probably know. I'm thinking we're going to have a pretty good basketball season this year. So far we're doing okay. So the only hope we have is basketball and baseball. So, and track. Yep, Doggy Musley, 5'3". 5'3". That's the size of a Filipina or a Filipino. I know the little Filipino men like to hoop it up in the Philippines in flip-flops. Man, I would twist my ankle, break it open, and infect myself with a nasty wound if I wore flip-flops trying to play basketball or any sport. So, I did send a message earlier to Jimmy, the one who donated money. Nice. And Tim wants us to send him, I'll explain to you, the Gcash or whatever it is, so he can send money to you, Lorelei. So we can talk to Tim in Messenger. So to help him, give him a way to get a hold of us. Thank you, Jimmy. My wife says, I still say they need to rise the basketball hoop, raise it up. What for? How tall? How tall does it need to be? Then the short people wouldn't be able to get there. Tim says, I'm back. My pleasure, Lorelei. Jimmy says, just remember from Space Jam, it was Muggsy. Space Jam. Is that the one of the dogs or the ones of Michael Jordan? Yeah, Tim says, I don't have PayPal, Lorelei. So Lorelei will help with you behind the scenes, Tim. She will. We have Gcash, I think. Because Lorelei sends money to the Philippines, I think, using Gcash. HGN says, hello, Lorelei. With Michael Jordan, yes. Man, that's one boy that took some very good financial advice, didn't he? Tim says, thank you. I was telling somebody last night, because, we're at the home of Walmart, Bentonville, Arkansas, the home of Walmart. One of the Waltons bought the Denver Broncos. And guys, I don't know if you knew that or not. We're going to the same last year for the New Year's Eve. They're happy already thinking they're getting rice. Yeah, we got a bunch of people already excited because we did such of a good job with the rice drive last year that we already got families going, hey, put me on the short list because we need rice. And what a lot of people don't understand is they will go out and buy rice, but they may not be able to buy other food or school supplies for the kids because it's that important for the new year to have rice in the house. So they may sacrifice other things they need just to have this. So we can provide that, then they can take care of the kids and do other things. Well, not the players are so tall, they don't have to. So they don't have to jump, they just hop. Well, yeah. So maybe raise it up a foot. I don't know. Maybe make the basket smaller. I saw something today where they made a new basketball. Have you guys seen this? Where they're talking about a basketball that has no air in it. They're thinking about switching to that in a few years. So I don't know. I'm 5'7". I am dunking. Woohoo! But just lower that thing. I've never dunked but a donut in my life. Our director is having fun again. Yes, Spud Webb was 5'7". Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's who I remember, Jimmy. Spud Webb. So, a few inches shorter than me. Typical Filipino male size. But I was telling somebody last night that the old boy that bought the Broncos, the Walmart family heir, I guess he wants to, and I saw this on some of the sports networks, he wants to build a new stadium in Denver, Colorado. And what they were talking about was how the times have changed from when, like, the Raiders owner and all these old owners, you know, would threaten like Denver or Dallas or Los Angeles and say, if you don't build us a new stadium, we're going to pack our bags and go live in another city, right? So they were talking about how this has changed with this new billionaire sports team owner. So the guy wants to build him a new stadium, but what he's going to do is pay for it himself. He's going to construct a new Denver stadium. They're going to make it gigantic. It's going to have apartments and condos, restaurants. It's going to be set up for concerts, football, and everything else. He's going to turn it into a business. So he's going to rent out the new Denver Broncos stadium for other events when the team doesn't play so he can make money. And what I think was funny was I heard the sports people saying, no, look, what that means is in a few years when all of this is done, let's say he got $1 billion for the team, he bought the team for $1 billion, and let's say he puts another $1 billion in for the stadium. So that's $2 billion. But once he gets this all done, his whole franchise is going to be worth $10 billion. Can you imagine that? $10 billion? Henry says, well, I got to get going. Take care, everyone. See you later. Spud could jump. There's a song about a Spud. Spud, it's a truck driving song. Spud, I just heard it a few weeks ago. Yeah, all right, Henry. Good to see you, Henry. Take care. Be safe. Enjoy your trip to the Philippines, whenever it is you go. So he got his passport, so he's halfway there. Before you can leave the country and go to any country, the first step, besides having money, is having a passport. You got to have a passport. So, Spud the Pud. Yeah, I think it was a Spud the Pud. It was a potato truck. There's a truck driving song about Spud the Pud, a potato truck, coming out of Idaho. So, Idaho potatoes. So, I heard that just a while back. I like truck driving songs. So I heard this song a while back. It made me think of that. But that's an interesting concept, right? Now, the real question for us, I don't care what the Broncos do. I do like the Broncos, but since I don't have any money and I don't live there, then I don't care what the Broncos do. But the real question is, who's going to be the next football coach for the Arkansas Razorbacks? That's what my hat's bent. Look at that. My hat's bent. So that's what we're working on here in our great state is who's going to be the next football coach. That's the big thing. And all I know is I don't want the Bobby guy to be our coach. I think he's a disgusting human being. And I think he's a shitty coach. 20 years ago, he was a really good coach. But in today's football, he's not. And if he was, Arkansas wouldn't suck as bad as they did. Because he's been the offensive coordinator for 2 years. And now he hasn't won a game as the interim head coach. So you can't, you want to blame Pittman about how bad we suck, but he ran the offense. Ken, were you at DePaul? Jimmy's asking, Ken, were you at DePaul? DePaul State University? So we're around here, either Franklin or, Ed Orgeron gets his name mentioned a lot, which I don't want him. I want to be able to understand the coach. I'd like to be able to understand the words they speak. So we don't know who's going to be Arkansas's next coach. Ken says, no, I went into the Army. Woohoo! Lorelei says, my coworkers asking if we're recycling the coach now. We need to recycle him into the compost pile. Jimmy says, all right, Ken, I understand now. So that's what we're working on here from a sports angle is who's going to be our next football coach. And we don't know. I don't have an opinion about who we should hire, just who we shouldn't hire. All right. So Ken's a stud. Now, I'll tell you, made a couple of old Army teams, nothing big. I turned that job down. You did. I got to remember my friend John's last name. I can't even remember John's last name. Lorelai, do you remember what John's last name was? We had a good friend of ours. I can't remember his last name. That played for Eddie Sutton on their national championship team. That died a couple years ago. God, I can't think. Mary Ann's job. Mary Ann's job. John, not job. I'm sorry, I am smart. You know, is what by nature? Smart ass by nature. That's all right. God, I can't remember John's last name for the life of me. I'm trying to Google something here. Let's see. Not Brian. Pat says, I am back. I think he was West Fork. Hang on, I got to type something, guys. Come on now. There he is. Oh, John Nelson. So, you basketball guys may know of John Nelson. He played for Arkansas, and then he went to Oklahoma and played for Oklahoma. And he was on the national championship team at Oklahoma State with Eddie Sutton. Him and I were kind of buddies. He was a local police chief and liked to go fishing. He was married to a Filipina. He passed away at 47 a couple years ago. But he originally played here in Arkansas and then went to Oklahoma State. And he told me one time, he's like, well, I had to go play at Oklahoma State with Eddie Sutton. Because when Coach Nolan Richardson came in to be the coach at Arkansas back then, he quickly realized that a white guy was not going to get to play on the Arkansas Razorbacks. So he transferred over to Oklahoma State and played for Eddie Sutton when Eddie Sutton went to Oklahoma State. So he was one tall old boy now. Pat, I am back. Lost my signal. Yes, you did. So, good guy, though. He's a good old boy. Good old boy. Smart guy. He was a local police chief for many years. Many years. He retired and then passed away about 4 months later. We went on a fishing trip down to Mississippi, and about a week after we got back, he went with us, him and his wife, with my wife and I. We went down to Mississippi. I don't remember if somebody else was there or not. But he come back home and died of a heart attack in his sleep a few weeks after that. So that was kind of a trip, right? Died at 47. So you just never know, man, what's going to happen. So, but we need a new football coach. And I don't know who I want. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want an old guy. I think that's my big thing. You know, in today's world, I think it is sad, Ken, it really is sad. He was a good guy. I'm a good old boy. So, not arrogant and Not a typical bully cop at all, you know, logical, intelligent. So, boating in Mississippi, dog, yeah, we went deep sea fishing. So we do a lot of deep sea fishing when we can. And we were in Mississippi in a place called Bay St. Louis. And we went down there to look to see if I wanted to buy a land or a house there. And they went with us. We hung out, did some fishing. So Tim says, I'm not going to the gym today. My driver is sick. All right. So Tim can't make it to the gym. His driver is sick. Okay. Live it up, man. Going 50. That's right. You got to get to the 50. I haven't turned 50 yet. I'm still in my 20s. So I don't know how you old guys deal with old age. I think you guys are going to go after Michael Dusombrix, head coach of the Raging Cajuns. I don't know. I don't even know that name, Jimmy. Have I ever heard of him? I don't even know how you would pronounce his name. Are you funning with me, Jimmy? I'm gonna Google him and see if he comes up in our search. Jimmy. Michael, whatever, Dusombrix. Dorsalmex. Born in 85, University of Louisiana, Lafayette. I don't know, man. Where did it go? I lost it. Louisiana, Lafayette, he's a very good coach. You like him? All right. If you like him, Jimmy, we'll take him. Is he cheap? For one of the richest universities, for a university that's located literally with more billionaires than you can spit on with a 50-mile radius, we are one of the cheapest ass universities there are. We got billionaires coming out of our ass within 50 miles. And Pat, you are in your 20s now. Sorry I missed your birthday. That's okay. Thinking of that, today is my birthday. No, today's not it. November is my birthday month. I turn 20 in the month of November every year, by the way. I've been 20 for many years. November is my birthday month. Not that anybody cares, but hey, you know, I feel your pain. I know I'm looking. I did consider that. He knows as a young program builder, that's good. And he can be had for about 3 or 4 million a year. That's good. I just see something today that says James Franklin at 15 million is the new Arkansas favorite among James Franklin news. I don't know. I think we need to build somebody. You want to know in America 2 words, brisk tea. You like that? It's brisk iced tea, not just tea, but iced tea, even though there's no ice in it. We're going to hire Lane Kiffin is what we're going to do. So apparently people think James Franklin would come here. I don't know why James Franklin would come to Arkansas. You know, and I don't know if I want James Franklin. I think somebody younger who give them their step up to big time, so to speak, would be better. The Tulane head coach, John Summerall, I think he might be good. James Lincoln just signed with Virginia Tech. All right, well, then I guess he's out of the Arkansas running because we just got a thing here that says, oh, he's going to sign for $15 million in Arkansas. You know, I think Virginia Tech's a good place for him. He could, Arkansas. But the John Sumrall with the Green Wave, Tulane head coach, Alex Golish, man, I butcher everybody's name. I don't even know where he's at. Oh, USF head coach. So, University of South Florida, Eric Morris, North Texas head coach, Silverfield, Memphis' head coach. That might be all right. They beat us. Put in the list whoever donated for the rice so that they will shout them out in the live to recognize all the generous people. Okay. Are you telling me to do something, Lorelai? Because I don't know what you mean by what list. I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy's the one that donated. I don't know what you want me to do if you're telling me to do something. If you live in the South, only sweet tea is allowed. That's right. There's sweet tea. There's tea. You go up north, you got to say, which kind of tea do you want? Sweet tea or unsweet? Yes. I don't know what you're asking, Lorelai. I don't know what list are you talking about. Lane Kiffin's rock star. He's going to Florida. If he goes anywhere, it'd probably be Florida. Pat Fitzgerald, former Northwestern head coach. I don't know about him. P.J. Fleck, Minnesota. Ugh. Who the hell wants anybody from Minnesota? It's too cold up there. I actually think one of those smaller coaches from Florida or Tulane or like Jimmy's talking about will be the next coach for Arkansas. You want me to start the list? Okay, I'll start a list of people that donated. Gotcha. I don't know about that sweet tea, man. Tastes syrupy. Well, here's the thing about this sweet tea. It doesn't say it's sweet tea. This has one can is one serving. It has 70 calories in it only. Coke has 180. It has 17 grams of sugar, 0 potassium. Here, at the Adventures of the Philippine-American Couple, we only drink brisk iced tea. Ooh, you like that? That should be a commercial guy. Jimmy says, rumor has it that UF offered Lane 10 years. I don't doubt it. I mean, they'd be stupid not to go after him, to be honest. But what happens if he wins the national championship at Ole Miss? And what happens if he gets lucky and actually wins the championship? One, they'd probably have to pay him, $250 million. But would you leave the place that you want? You know what I mean? The other tea, I thought sweet tea is the only tea. There you go, the other tea. I actually like non-sweet tea. I like bitter tea. So I like just taking tea sunbags, and I like drinking tea like that. But this is cheap and easy. Brisk is good stuff, but y'all got sweet tea at McDonald's. Oh yeah, that's nasty. It's not real tea. McDonald's tea is not real tea, by the way. They don't brew it. It comes in a bag, and it's not real tea. So if you think it's tea, it's not tea. It's more like pea with sugar in it. He won't go, you think, Jimmy? Oh, he won't win the championship? Well, I don't think so either. I think it's an extremely long shot. If he doesn't win, he should go, right? I think, look, if I can't win at Ole Miss, which wouldn't be surprising, that's like saying Arkansas, so, collect the money and retire. Well, rather just get a plain tea and do a little sugar in it, a little honey. Collect the money and retire, Pat says. Yes. Well, the interesting thing is the golden parachutes. I mean, it's like, oh my God. Even Pittman, the guy that we fired, I think he walked away with $20 million on the table that we're going to have to pay him out or settle. You know, the golden parachute for some of these coaches is unbelievable. James Franklin walked away with what, 50 million when they fired him? So Lane likes the glitzy programs and will not stay. Now, Jimmy, I agree with that. He's a Hollywood boy. He is. He's a Hollywood boy. And right now, you know, he's probably 50 years old now, right? Isn't he right about 50? So you're right. He's probably going to jump ship, take the money, and then do the glitz and glam. And if he can pull it off, he'll be the greatest coach next to Saban. I mean, think about that. If he can go to Florida and win a championship and rebuild Florida, he will become undoubtedly one of the greatest college coaches. Lane likes the glitzy. Pat, are you laughing at me, Pat? Dougie's asking, Lane can win a natty? Yeah, I agree. I think Indiana has a better chance than Ole Miss. And I think Ole Miss and Indiana, not this year, but I'm talking about across the board. I look at Indiana and Ole Miss as kind of in the same category, the same level. Now, I think Indiana is better than Ole Miss. Pat says, yes, I am laughing at you. Well, we need a coach that can just, you know, and part of the pissing contest is around here. How much money do you have to pay the players to come here? You know, and that's what some of the people that like Bobby Petrino is here is like, oh, well, we just need to give him a lot of money and give him all the money he needs to buy players. Well, but if we got that kind of money to buy the best players, then we don't need him. We could have... Indiana won't be there next year. They won't be like they are this year. They won't be. I don't believe. I think they'll be back to Penn State level. Not Penn State at this year, but Penn State at normal. They're going to be in the running and the hunt, kind of like Notre Dame, but not where they're at this year. So, Pat says, yes, I got a big thumbs up for everybody. So that's what I think is going on. I don't know what we're going to do. It's frustrating. This is the first year in my entire history of life that I've been rooting for the Arkansas Razorbacks to lose football games. Because I cannot stand Bobby. I think he's a disgusting human being. I think he's a scumball, a scumbucket. I think he's full of shit. I think he's past his prime. I think he doesn't understand today's football. And I think he's a scumbag. If you guys didn't know how I felt about him, I thought I would tell you. But I know we don't like it, Jimmy and everybody else, but I still think your coach has to have some integrity about them. I think they still got to be halfway decent human being, and Bobby's not that. So, I mean, when you cheat on your wife with a little tennis coach, you know, that you're 25 years older than, destroy her marriage, her relationship, and you got to pay all these people out for keeping your secrets, and then you get caught. You get caught trying to text one of the Anchorage women, one of the TV anchors. You know, you're trying to hook up with her while you're hooking up with the tennis girl, while you're married to your wife in your big house in Fayetteville, while you wreck your stupid motorcycle because you're too stupid to know how to ride it. You know, and what a lot of people don't understand is he's the reason Arkansas is the way it is. He put Arkansas on the map to nowhere. He put us. The last 30 years is his freaking fault. Oh, doggy, that's the game, doggy. That's right. I'm telling you. See, honest men have no friends, and I consider myself halfway honest, therefore I have no friends. So, I think he's a scumbag. If I didn't tell you already that, I think he's a scumbag. What I do find is funny is Coach O. You know, you guys all know who Coach O is from LSU. I guess he's been lobbying to get the Arkansas job. We better not hire him. So, but he wants the Arkansas job. And look, and you got to wonder about the people, unlike coming from like, Central Florida or Tulane. If you got somebody, one, I guess he's running out of money because his buyout from LSU is ending. So it's ending. So he needs to get back into the workforce. So he wants to come coach at Arkansas. So, you know, we don't want him. I don't want him either. So we need somebody young, physically fit, maybe in their 40s, who still has a lot of good energy, can relate to younger players, understand younger players, and not be a douchebag is what we need. Those are just my thoughts. I don't know what thoughts you have, but those are just my thoughts. But I do think I was a little surprised Alabama lost, I got to admit. Sounds like David is lobbying for himself. There you go. Yeah, because I'm only in my 20s, but I am kind of fat. I think I got to have somebody who's physically fit. Fat people shouldn't be on the sideline trying to be a coach. Not a good setting, right? You're right. As much money as the coaches make these days, sure, hire me for a year. Let me do a 3 or 4 year contract, and then just fire me next year and I'll take the buyout and go home. I mean, they make so much money, and then they make so much money in the buyouts. $50 million for James Franklin. If I was him, I would sit my happy ass at home or out on the beach and hang out for a couple of years. I do know that as part of the buyout, the rules are you're supposed to be actively looking for work. Or some BS. We had that thing with, what was that guy's name? The other fat guy Arkansas had. What was his name from Wisconsin? He's at Illinois now. Brett Bielema, I think was his name. He had to give America. He had to give Arkansas back some of his buyout money because he took a job at the Patriots, an unpaid supposed job, and it violated his buyout. So that's when he went and volunteered at the Patriots. So because you're supposed to find gainful employment to offset the damages. But he went and got employed and refused to take money so that he can keep getting his buyout farm. And he had to pay Arkansas back like $2.3 million. Pat says, I am hating my Wi-Fi signal connection is poo-poo. My connection is poo-poo. It just smells and stinks. You need to get you one of those Elon Musk Starlink satellite discs is what you need, Pat. We use, I don't know what we use. What do we use? I think we use AT&T is what we have here is AT&T. AT&T is what we have. But I've heard good things about the Starlink for people that live out in the country. I think it might be a little pricey though. And a lot of campers use it. A lot of RV people use it. So I think it's something that might work. But then again, if you're having storms, I don't know how well it works in storms. Yeah, I think you can get the mini and the larger version. I think they're about $100. I think the most expensive is $100. What is it called? Starlink? Doggy says, I'm about to weeds, man. This stuff is 33%. Starlink. They not got their own website? They don't sell their own product? Wow. I'd imagine they'd have their own website. They don't. I thought they would have their own website that had like a big picture of Elon on it. I don't know. Because you would think they'd put a picture of Elon on it. Here it is. I found it. Probably just Google the Starlight. Is it Starlight or Star? It's Starlink. There you go, Starlight. I found it. Service plans range residential. Let's see. Residential light is $80 a month. Residential full bore is $120 a month. Roaming, if you're on like RVs and boats, because hey, you may need it on your boat, is $165, $50 and $165. So it's a little pricey, $80 a month. That's about what we pay. We don't pay that much for AT&T fiber. Let me get the lightsaber. So $80 a month, Pat. It's weather resilient, ultimate data, 30-day trial, plug and play, setup. I don't know. Not like Elon needs any more money, you know, but be good to be Elon though, wouldn't it? Be right back, Jimmy says. Be right back. Jimmy's going to be right back, he says. Let me see what's going on here. Getting messages popping up. Let's see what's going on. Ah. All right, let me get caught up. I pay $40 a month for my cable and internet connection. That's pretty good. We don't have cable anymore. We use Amazon, right? We have Amazon Prime, but their TV sucks. They really don't have good TV stuff. But we have Amazon Prime, so we get their Amazon TV programs, but they suck. And then we have Hulu. We have Hulu, which is like Netflix, but different. And then we also have Paramount. I pay for Paramount because there's a lot of things on Paramount that I watch that I can't find anywhere else. So I watch Paramount a lot. So we have Paramount. Joe's in the house. Hello, everybody. Say hello to Joe. Joe, Tim says hello to you. Good to see you. Joe. So we use Hulu TV. We used to use Netflix, but I got burned out on them. And now that they promote trying to convince little kids that they ought to change their gender, I don't want to go back to them. So I've been stuck with Hulu is what I've been using. Then, of course, since we have internet, our TVs have built-in like Samsung programming, which we watch a lot of reruns. Yeah, I can't see that. I got to pull that up. Doggy says, I got to go take a cigarette break. I'll be right back. Time to smoke. Pat says hello to Joe. Joe, off-air antenna. Yeah, we have that too. So we use open-air antenna, or what the old people call an antennae. So we use that, and then we use the internet on the TV for like the Samsung stuff. Then we use Hulu, Amazon, and the other one, Paramount. Those are the ones that we pay for, which is way cheaper than cable ever could imagine being. So you can save a lot of money, period. Doggy says, green. You got to save that money, man. So that's what we do. But Hulu's okay. Now, our Paramount comes with Showtime, and then our Hulu comes with HBO and the crazy people in Florida. Disney. So our Hulu comes with Disney and HBO Max. So, you know, we don't really watch the Disney stuff because we've been to Disneyland. I ain't fired tobacco in a month. Well, good. Now be good. Oh, you're going to the green. You're doing the green leaf. I gotcha. Our good friend Rob Glad is in here. He's been kicking that. He's been doing really good at getting off of that. He's been on it for years, and he's been working with it. And I think he's probably 14 to 21 days where he hasn't, had any green stuff. That new generation stuff, I don't like it. Kanisha from New York is in the house. Everybody say hello, Kanisha. Hi, how are you doing? Pat. Kid, I use streaming on my own personal library. You have your own personal library? What kind of videos do you have in your own personal library? You may not. So we use Open Air TV and then Samsung or whatever the TV brands are. Now, if you didn't know, Walmart owns Vizio now. And they own the Vizio TV app. They actually bought it. They bought the company that makes Vizio TVs. Walmart did. Not for the TVs, but for the streaming service. So Walmart bought all of the company, but what they really wanted was the streaming service so they could collect data and they can do like Amazon does. When we're watching Amazon Prime, what irritates me is all the ads that pop up and saying, would you like to add this to your Amazon cart? Walmart's going to be doing that with Vizio TVs. Pat says, hello, Kanisha, it's good to see ya. Joe says, I haven't smoked over 50 years now. I'm trying to quit. I have smoked for over 50 years. And he's trying to quit them cigarettes. Now, you need to quit them. They're bad for you. Plus, they cost a lot of money. Nothing like that you name the show I have or can't get it on. Ooh. Are they like the real shows? Tim says, hello to you, Kanisha. So, one thing I find irritating is if you're watching anything on Amazon, if they do a little commercial for Lipton Brisk Tea, all of a sudden, pop, it pops up and says, would you like to add this to your cart? Walmart's doing the same thing with Vizio TVs. When you're watching things on Vizio, if you're searching for anything, I promise you, Walmart's going to make you a suggestion. So they're working on that. So just be aware of that. And that's why Vizio TVs are so cheap now. Because Walmart wants to sell all the TVs. They don't care about the TV. They care about the streaming service inside the TV. That's why they made them so much cheaper. Kanisha says, Thanksgiving is coming and I'm going to be hard for me. About the after is the day my mother passed away. So your mother died on the Friday after Thanksgiving? All right. Well, just remember, as I've told you in the past, always just think about the good things. Think about the positive things that you got to experience. Think about all of the wonderful Thanksgivings you had, not the bad one. All right? Thanksgiving is right around the corner. We've already got our Thanksgiving pre-ordered. All I got to do is go pick it up the day before, throw it in the oven the day of, and we are good. So we're not cooking. I'm not working that hard to feed 4 people. We just buy our Thanksgiving. I get advertising on Facebook about what I watched on. I know. Yes, the AI is doing it all now. I mean, if you search something, I have a really bad habit of hitting the microphone and searching something on my phone. Well, I get ads for that. Top of the Rock, Branson, Missouri. All of a sudden, I'm going to start getting a bunch of crap for Branson, Missouri. It's horrible. Yes, me too. Tim says, yes, same here, Tim. So, yes, it's crazy. They know what we're doing. They know what we're thinking. They know what we're searching. They're spying on us. They're worse than the government. We need to get... it's really bad when we need the government to protect us from business instead of the other way around, right? We know this is really bad when we got to ask the government for help. Or we got to go ask Elon Musk. Elon, can you help us, buddy? It's bad. But I'm serious. I have a really bad habit of Googling things. And all of a sudden, on Facebook, here, there, everywhere, you know. But we went to Branson, Missouri last night. We did what is it called even? I even know. The top of the Rock Ozark Heritage Preserve. We went to Nature and Lights. I know, it's probably backwards. We went there last night. I'm telling you, Elon can fix it. He can fix anything. I mean anything. But I want to tell you a little bit about, because I'm going to do a video on it. I got a video coming out tomorrow about my pacemaker surgery where the tiger bit me. So you know, the tiger came in and bit me and stole my pacemaker, so I had to get a new one, is what happened. But so that comes out tomorrow. But we're going to do a video about Nature and Lights at the top of the rock in Branson, Missouri. This is really, it was pretty cool. You know, it's $50 a head. You ride in a golf cart. You drive it yourself. They got a lot of, man, there's some caves. They got these gigantic walls that they're projecting flying eagles on and dancing lights everywhere. And they tell some stories along the way and talk about the Indians and all kinds of really cool. It's a really pretty good ride. I think it's about 45 minutes is what it takes you to kind of get through it. But through the waterfalls, through the mountains, overlooking the river. I mean, it's really pretty cool if you guys want to go to Branson, Missouri. Just tell them I sent you and they'll give you no discount. So, I hate to leave, but I have a live stream at 10 my time. I need to makeup and hair done. Nice. Thanks. This was fun. Ken, we will subscribe to you and hit the alert bell for you so that we can be alerted when you do live streams, all right? We'll do that. I'll come back probably in the morning or later tonight and subscribe to your channel. And I ask all of you other folks to do that. Tim, Ken, if you want, before you leave, let me turn you blue and you can drop the link to your live stream. So Ken, wait a second. And, oh, I got to do it over here. Sorry. Hold on, Ken. Give me a second. So if you want to drop your link, Ken, you can. I turned you blue. So that way, if anybody wants to go hang out with Ken later tonight, he can do it. You guys can do it. Any updates on the $2,000 check for the tariffs? No. There's rumors that they're going to do it kind of like a tax credit. And then there's rumors, no, they're going to send you a check or direct deposit it. No, they're still working on it. I know they're trying to figure out how to do it. Here's how popular it is, Tim. If you type in into Google 2000, the first thing comes up is $2,000 tax rebate. Let's see what the latest is. Mid to lower income, which is us, I think it's $100,000 or less, you get it. It's still in the proposal planning stage or phase. So they're still trying to figure out. They got to get, you know, the legislative branch to figure it out, the Treasury Department to figure it out. The Secretary, Scott Bessent, has expressed skepticism about the feasibility of the rebate, indicating that there are no specific proposals being actively considered. Well, they did all the stimulus money, so surely they can do this. Funding concerns, the Democrats all say Trump is full of shit and it's not going to happen. Trump is saying, piss on me once, shame on you. Piss on me twice, shame on me. They're still working on it. I bet you we won't know anything until after the first of the year. So right now, from what the news is telling me today, that they don't know how to do it. Which is stupid because we did it during COVID, boom, 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 right? So now they're going, wait a minute, and they got to get everybody on board, of course. And we'll see, Tim. That's all I can find. Nothing new today. I know, I think if Trump wants it done, what I'll say. I don't know what form it will take, but I promise you, if Trump really wants to get that done, he will get it done. One way or the other. Whether it's you just got a $2,000 tax credit, which sucks for, but what about the people that don't have to pay taxes, you know? And that's what we talked about last week was, like if you're on Social Security disability and as has DI, because you don't have enough work credits, do you get it? If they do a tax credit, you wouldn't get it because you have no taxes. You know, so what's going to go on, we don't know. But no, we don't have anything definitive. And I promise you, it may, right now they're all excited about the Epstein files. They're more worried about that guy than getting, the Democrats are more worried about Epstein than they are about whether we get $2,000 or not. So they're still crying about Epstein, is what they're doing right now. Which is just crazy to me. I mean, I don't understand that worry. I really don't. And then I guess there's more investigations going on to the former FBI director guy. I guess he's going to be in more trouble than we think or says. So some girl is suing Taylor Swift for something. Apparently Taylor Swift is a bully. You know, I guess there's this girl making t-shirts that said Swifties or had a something on it about Taylor Swift, and now she's suing her. So, you know, I don't understand. You got all this money in the world. Why can't you let the little people have a bite of the apple? So, other than that, no. There's no good movies coming out, Tim. Nothing other new. There's a new species found in the ocean. That's about it, man. There are these idiots that there is, Tim, one thing that we found disturbing recently is some of the dash door drivers are being shot at for trying to deliver food. And that's been going on here. And then a house cleaner accidentally showed up at the wrong house, knocked on the door and was shot and killed for coming to the wrong house because she didn't know the wrong address. And apparently there's been a couple of DoorDash drivers who one has been shot in the hospital and in the hospital because they pull up to deliver food, they get the wrong house, they come up, knock on the door, and the crazy person inside, you know. So that's why I thought it was funny a couple weeks ago when the DoorDash driver was here at my house, and he was supposed to be at the house behind me. He would thank me for not yelling at him because I explained to him that he meant to go back there. Well, Tim, you're right. And that's part of the argument, Tim, is there's nothing in the files, to be honest, against Trump. If there was, the Democrats would have leaked them before the election, without question. But there's nothing. What they are worried about now, and Trump has now come out today and said, okay, fine, release everything. I want the government I want the DOT, not the DOT, Department of Transportation, Department of Justice, to release everything. I want Congress to order them to release everything. Because what they're going to find is there's a lot of Democrats that were buddies with him. Clintons went to the island a whole lot. So that's the reason they didn't want it released, but they're hoping to keep us against Trump, against the government, because they're alluding to every few weeks, every so often, there's times, well, you know, Trump was seen in a picture. Somebody gets on like MSNBC and says, we have all seen those pictures of Donald Trump holding little children on his lap inappropriately. No, nobody's seen those. We've seen the one of Joe Biden doing it, but where are those pictures? And so they keep doing this. And so I think Trump has finally got to the point, fine, everybody needs to see everything. Just throw it all out there. So now the Democrats are not going to want them released because it's going to expose Republicans and Democrats for their behavior over the years. It's going to shed light on a lot of people. And there's going to be a lot of fallout, is why the politicians don't want it to happen. But now Trump is coming out saying, just do it. Let everybody see it for what it is and just do it. I don't know, Tim. It's kind of crazy and kooky, but that is what's going on with that. I truly just don't think. And then, of course, you got to understand, nobody's ever going to believe the documents, right? People are going to go through it. They're going to manipulate it. They're going to look at it and they're going to say, no, no, no. Yeah, he is the hair sniffer. I remember that. Well, and he's the one that is inappropriately touched girls or said things to them, made them cringe, you know. And maybe he didn't intend it, but it kind of way it is. But people are going to watch these files, whatever come out, and it's still not going to solve the issue. Everybody's going to say, no, this is a lie. This is fake. No, this is fake. This is not what happened. You know, yeah, see, you know, the guy mentioned that he met Donald Trump once. Or, you know, Donald Trump was at a dinner party of 400 people and Epstein was there. So, see, he's really a bad guy. It's kind of what they're going to be doing. But we'll just have to see how it goes. But that's kind of what it is. Yeah, I mean, you know, Clinton, you know, and I like Bill Clinton. He's from here. I met him. I actually like Bill Clinton, but I'm telling you, he's going to be one of the dirty ones in the folder, along with a lot of other people. So, and there's going to be a lot of Republicans there too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not picking on just the Democrats, but they're the ones who, you know, want to weaponize this. That's all right with me, Tim. I don't mind talking about politics. As long as everybody, you know, respects what everybody else thinks and is okay with it. You know what I mean? I don't care. A lot of people want to steer away from it, but it doesn't bother me too. Because if you don't like my opinion, you don't got to listen. But I like hearing what other people think and what their perspective is. And I really do. And it's not really, I don't know, I look at it a lot of times, it's really not politics. It's about social dynamics. Because how we view things, how we see things. If we have a dog in the fight, then by God, it better be this way. But if it's our dog that's getting beat up or could get beat up, then by God, it better be another way. So nobody in today's world wants the whole truth. What is it? The whole truth, nothing but the truth. They don't want that. So people only want their truth, their version of truth. You know, their ideology of truth is what they want. And that's about anything. Sports, fishing, politics, medical. No. Hats give you brain cancer. I swear by godly, hats give you brain cancer. I know this for a fact. You know, well, no, it really doesn't. Social dynamics, in other words, gossip. That's it. I don't vote at all. We vote. We do. No way. That's right, you know. And I can sit here and argue with you that hats give you cancer and by golly, you know, blah, blah, blah. And if you disagree with me, then you're horrible and you're going to go live on the island of Jeffrey. So, but it's all about your perspective and the dog you want to fight is what it is. And that's what I kind of mean by honest people don't have any friends. If you're truly honest, rational, and honest, people don't like you. Because you're not going, oh my God, it's, you know, yes, you can have 37 genders. No, you can't. You're going to have 2. The rest are mental health issues, you know, but people don't like the honest truth, the real truth, the calm truth. A lot of people just want to fight for the sake of fighting. A lot of people just want to be right. I think there's a word or a phrase used called right fighters, where a lot of people just want to be right in their fight. I personally don't believe I'm that way. I don't think I'm a right fighter. I think I may have an opinion and I stand by my opinion, but I'm okay. I'm not going to make you bend to my philosophy about hats giving cancer. I'm just not going to do it. If you tell me that I'm bonkers thinking hats give you cancer, well, that's okay. You can do that. But I'm going to show you the tumor right here. So, it's just one of those type of things. So you got right fighters who just want to be right no matter what, even if they don't know what they're talking about. One thing I love are the videos on the internet of all these people at these events, and somebody says, well, why don't you like this person? What did they do? Well, I don't really know. I'm not going to discuss it. Let's kill whoever, let's do this, let's do that. Okay, but why? Well, because I'm with this group, and this is what the group does. The group hates Democrats, or the group hates Republicans, or the group says we got 57,000 different genders. So that's what we have. I can't explain it, but my group says it's okay. That's what drives me crazy. Does people not think for themselves anymore? And I'm really big on that. That's why I tell people, whether you like it or not, religion, gangs, military service, being a police officer, it's all about belonging to a group. And you go with the flow of the group. If you go against the group, then you're not part of the group anymore. Hello? If you no longer think like the Democrat, then you're not a Democrat. If you no longer think like the Republican, then you're not a Republican. That's right, Tim. That scar is not from cancer. It's from your horn removal. Just don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't tell anybody that I had horns. Maybe I'll get lucky and my horns will grow back. That's what I hope. Maybe, I don't know. I got a haircut though. See? I got a haircut. I'm going to be tired this weekend, man. A lot of driving. I'm going to be doing a lot of driving in Texas. I'm going to be wore out. I'm just telling you. I'm going to have to find extra drugs, even drugs I don't have. I might have to go down on the street corner and hustle drugs just to get through the weekend. So, maybe the new drugs will give me cancer. But everything has a problem. Everything is wrong. There's not one thing that you could ever get everybody to agree on. You can't even get people to agree on that we breathe oxygen. No, that's not true. Oh, okay, Or you can't even get everybody to say, if you drink water will not kill you, unless you're hypertonic and you drown yourself in water. But if you only drink one glass of water, you're not going to die from it. Well, that's not true. Brisk lemon flavored tea is not good for you. Oh, that's not true. That's right. Pack is so mixed up he couldn't even have his unicorn horn in the right place. That's right. It was over here versus over here. I think it was this one. You never know, Tim. All right, everybody. It's 8:30. Why don't we wind this puppy down? I'm going to go get some rest. Get a few things done. Make sure Lily is squared away for the night. And get some sleep because I need to get up and work on some videos tomorrow. So try to get that done and all of that. But we appreciate everybody being here tonight. Thank you all for coming in, all the thumbs uppers. We appreciate that. We'll be back live. I don't know if I'll do it Wednesday, probably Wednesday night. But remember, we're going to be doing a video out tomorrow. And then, of course, we will have a live stream this weekend in Dallas, Texas. So we appreciate everybody. Pat, Tim, good to see y'all. Appreciate you. Ken is gone. Let's see, everybody that's in here. Dennis, we appreciate you. Doggy's gone. Appreciate you, Jimmy, for helping us out with the money. Everybody, appreciate you guys. Everybody take care. And hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday.